Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to be diving into a framework called the Hive mindset. It's all about helping you take that feeling of workplace chaos and turn it into focused, coordinated action. You know that feeling, right? Your calendar is packed, you're running from meeting to meeting. You feel busy, but at the end of the day, you wonder what you actually accomplished. It's like being on a hamster wheel. You're running faster and faster, but you're not really getting anywhere. And that quote really gets to the heart of the Hive mindset. It's about learning to see the hidden coordination within all the chaos of our work, just like a beehive. It's not random noise, it's a system. So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this in 6 parts, basically building a personal operating system to bring some real clarity to your work. And our first step is making that crucial mindset shift. Okay, so the very first step is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It's about shifting your perspective. You need to stop seeing your work as just a long list of separate tasks and start seeing it as an interconnected ecosystem. What does that mean in practice? Well, it's about integrating everything, the people, the processes, and the priorities into one cohesive system. The goal is to create something where the whole is so much more powerful than the sum of its parts. The foundation of any good hive is its structure, right? For us, that means we have to understand and, really optimize our processes. Before we can produce anything of value, we have to build a better honeycomb. This idea comes from lean thinking, inspired by the Toyota way. It teaches us to be absolutely relentless in focusing on what creates value, and, just as important, to identify and get rid of what doesn't. It boils down to a simple question. Does this activity help us make better honey, or is it just buzzing around? Now, the real challenge here is to start spotting these 8 forms of waste in your own daily work. Just think about it for a sec. How much of your day is totally lost waiting for an approval or maybe sitting in a meeting that adds 0 value to the final product? That's all waste. But look, a great system means nothing without great people. A perfect honeycomb is pretty useless without any bees. And that brings us right to our second pillar. We need to shift our focus from just directing tasks to actually developing talent. The role of a modern leader isn't to have all the answers. Not at all. It's to ask the right questions that unlock the potential in other people. When you do that, you stop being the bottleneck and you start becoming a force multiplier for your team. This question is inspired by Michael Bungay-Stanier's book, The Coaching Habit. It sounds so simple, right? But it's an absolute game changer. It invites total honesty and gets right to the heart of the matter without you having to micromanage. Then, after they answer that first question, you hit them with this. This little follow-up is pure gold because it stops you from jumping in with the first easy solution. It encourages deeper thinking and it helps uncover what the real challenges just beneath the surface. Trust me, it's in that pause that the real insight happens. Okay, so you've optimized the system, you're empowering your people. The final pillar is all internal. It's about mastering your own focus and your own energy so you can do less but better. This is the mantra of essentialism. It's all about the disciplined pursuit of what truly, truly matters. What I find so powerful about this idea is that it forces you to strategically and deliberately say no to 100 good ideas so you have the space to say yes to that one great one. And this connects perfectly to Cal Newport's concept of deep work. He argues that in our crazy, distracted world, the ability to focus intensely isn't some kind of luxury. It's the critical skill for producing high-value, meaningful output. This is the honey-making part of the hive, It's where the real value is created. So with these 3 pillars in place, how do you actually stay aligned day to day? Well, that's where the Hive Compass comes in. It's a super simple tool for reflection. Think of it like a quick daily check-in. First, you point north, your vision. Ask yourself, are the actions I'm taking today actually aligned with my long-term goals? Then, look to the east, your strategy. Are your current routines and habits genuinely getting you closer to that vision, or are they maybe pulling you off course? Now, turn south for reflection. You gotta take an honest look at what's working and what isn't. What have you learned that can help you make a better move next? And finally, check west, your behavior. Are you showing up as that focused, empowering leader you actually want to be? This quick 4-point check can totally recenter your entire day. So, we've built the framework for your hive. This all sounds great, but the big question is, how do you start making a real impact? What if you don't feel like you have the power to change anything? I love this quote because it perfectly captures the final point. You do not need a grand title or some massive project to create real, meaningful change. It's the small, consistent contributions, asking one better question, eliminating one piece of waste, protecting 1 hour for deep work. These are the things that create ripples and build incredible momentum over time. Just remember, the Hive isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a daily practice of intentional growth. So I'll leave you with this. What small buzz will you create today?